And gold. In here for gold. Number one. And
You know, I'm beginning to think it's Vern under that hood. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest once again, the Black Dagger, will get into the ring a little bit later on with the Esquire, Derek St. Holm. Any final parting thoughts for your legions of fans?
Japan. What?
No kidding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're taking a look at the very unique, and that's to say the very least, Derek St. Holmes Esquire. And we better emphasize the Esquire. He made it very clear to us if we don't, we were going to get hit over the head with it, whatever that book is that he carries into the ring with him. Mr. Arrogant, Mr. Conceit, but Dale, as I understand it, a tremendous wrestling background, very, very skilled in the scientific wrestling technique, and a great competitor.
Well, he is a great competitor, Mick, and he does have great scientific skills, as we talked about. He's wrestled all over the upper Midwest. He's a light heavyweight champion in a number of different organizations throughout the upper Midwest, including holding that strap at the Mid-American promotion out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Derek St. Holmes, he's going to be a tough customer tonight for his opponent.
And the opponent, speaking of tough customers and very unique and scary individuals, the Black Dagger, coming all the way in from, I guess, Tokyo, Japan. And when I say I guess, it's because I tried to get some answers out of him a little bit. Exactly. It sounds like Ed Hellier at payoff time, trying to get an answer out of the Black Dagger. We're going to take a look at him in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. This promises to be a very unique matchup. And quite frankly, to be honest, I don't know a lot about Derek St. Holmes Esquire, but the Black Dagger I have seen in the past in many, many circumstances. Very schooled in the martial arts technique. He knows them all, whether it's jiu-jitsu, karate, kung fu. Very mysterious man, and you've got the classic matchup now, the martial artist against the pure wrestler. Bottom line is, if you're the fans, you are the ones who win in this kind of a matchup. Great skill involved here.
Well, if you're a fan of the Japanese style of wrestling, you certainly are going to enjoy this particular matchup because you will have the jiu-jitsu and the judo background of Black Dagger, but you've also got that great technical skill of Derek St. Holmes. The man knows every wrestling move. If there's a man of 1,000 holds in the upper Midwest, it's Derek St. Holmes.
You know, Dale, many years ago in the Twin Cities area, Billy Robinson, the former British Empire champion, really reigned supreme. And you watch Derek St. Holmes in action from the tapes that I've seen, very, very reminiscent, the style of Billy Robinson. Everything is methodical. There's not a lot of flash, but it's pure science. And matched up here against a man like the Black Dagger, should be a great matchup. There you see Capital City Kyle, the resident Miyazaki here in the Twin Cities area, watching the matches, taking photographs for his internet website. St. Paul Championship Wrestling, in my estimation right now, has more notoriety and more fame probably than any promotion anywhere, at least in the 5-state region.
Well, they've certainly gotten recognition recently. WrestleLine, there was an article written about the St. Paul Championship Wrestling promotion. We've also noted that a number of the different wrestlers in the promotion were ranked by the PWI 500. We begin action here. Black Dagger with a kick to the head of Derek St. Holmes.
He caught him with that savate kick, and immediately the man from England hits the deck on the outside. He's got that E equals MC squared on his tights. Now, I'm not sure if the man is a member of Mensa or not, but I tell you what, he's getting that brain rattled right now on the outside of the ring by the Black Dagger. Dagger weighed in tonight at just over 200 pounds. As you can see, he's almost got a swimmer's physique than a professional wrestler. Very lithe, very agile, and just a great technician.
Well, he goes up to the ring apron, and he's illegally choking Derek St. Holmes right now with a boot. The referees tell him to break the hold. He does, but, you know, this is not a great position for Derek St. Holmes to be in. He has to get back into the ring. You don't want to brawl with him on the outside. You want to be able to use those technical skills on the mat inside the squared circle.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are at the West St. Paul Armory, which is rapidly becoming the home for professional wrestling here in the Twin Cities area. For many years in the 1980s into the 90s, it was Ropers and Fridley. Now it's the West St. Paul Armory. Just a great atmosphere. And as you said, the Black Dagger resorting more to those brawling techniques right now. And there you see some of that martial arts expertise coming into play here. Neither of these men are anybody you want to invite over for dinner. They're just not nice fellas.
It looks like Derek St. Holmes is down. He hurt his leg.
He certainly did. That knee buckled, and you know, we have seen that more often than not. All you have to do is land wrong. You twist that ankle just a little bit, You wrench that knee, and now Derek St. Holmes is in a bad way here. This might lead to a stoppage of the match early on.
Well, Dagger's not going to let up on him right now. You know, he's the kind of wrestler who wouldn't give his opponent a break anyway. Now he takes him, throws him into the ropes. Oh, Holmes goes down.
He collapsed once again, and if I'm referee Frank Stuhl, I'm going to take a close look at this situation right now, and I'm going to ask Derek St. Holmes, are you ready to continue here? Do you want to... Oh, wait a minute. There's a cheap shot right in the... Look, his knee is just fine, for heaven's sakes. Butterfly suplex over the top. Derek St. Holmes playing possum. Now he's doing jumping jacks.
Well, he put it over the fans, over us, and over the opponent. Now, obviously, he's taking the advantage. He's got the upper hand. There's another suplex. Takes Black Dagger down to the mat. Caught him off guard. Mick caught us off guard, too.
Absolutely he did, and now methodically following in behind. Look at this now. He's got him wrapped up almost in an octopus, a grapevine maneuver on the mat, and you don't often see this. Generally, it's in a standing position. We saw Wilbur Snyder, Pat O'Connor do it for years and years, and Billy Robinson. He's got the Black Dagger all tied up right now.
Well, you know, sometimes fans aren't really wild about the fact that a wrestler is trying to submission hold or stretching an opponent, but that does a lot of damage. That's one way to wear down your opponent. Now he's got a reverse face lock in there. A couple forearms to the forehead will do it.
Damn. Well, the forehead and the bridge of the nose, and those are not light taps, believe me. Derek St. Holmes in the... Oh, my God, he's got him in that bow and arrow maneuver right now. The knee right into the small of the back of the Black Dagger, and the more I watch St. Holmes, the more he reminds me of Billy Robinson. And you made a very good point. In this day and age of professional wrestling, a lot of times the fans will give you a little heat if you're applying a submission maneuver, if you're a mat wrestler, but by golly, the name of the game is win the match, no matter what it takes.
Well, and one of the classic ways to win a match is to wear down your opponent, take hold of a body part, continue to wear on that body part. It looks like he's going right there with a full Nelson from behind. Derek St. Holmes has Black Dagger where he wants him, in the middle of the ring. Dagger can't reach the ropes, and right now, Frank Stuhl's asking him, do you want to give it up?
You know something, if you're a modern-day wrestling fan and you haven't been following the sport for any length of time, a full Nelson this might be the first time you've seen a full Nelson. You just, what a great maneuver on the part of the Dagger. Now, don't posture, for heaven's sakes. You just kick the man, mule kicked him, into the solar plexus, in for the cover. Count of 1 and 2, referee Stuhl a little bit out of position there. And now Dagger imploring St. Holmes to get to a vertical base. Stay on him. Don't get him to his feet, for heaven's sakes.
Well, Dagger's got him in the corner. There's a chop. Those hurt. You know, I've seen wrestlers after matches with welts all over the body from those things. There's another chop. You know, using that those judo chops on Derek St. Holmes. There's St. Holmes with a leg grapevine. Oh,
what a maneuver on the part of St. Holmes. Oh, my God, I'll tell you what, that'll take your knee out. Derek St. Holmes, again, a master technician. To this point in the match, wait, he's got them all wrapped up here. Referee right in on top. Good for Frank Stuhl. He's right there asking the masked man if he wants to call it a night. We're getting, no, I thought we got a signal that the matchup was over there. But Derek St. Holmes now doing exactly what he should be doing. He has the Black Dagger all tied up, and great camera work by the SPNN crew. I mean, this is just fantastic.
Well, this is what you see when you come to an independent show. You get to sit up close, you get to watch the action up tight. It's really a great way to watch wrestling as opposed to sitting in the second level of the Target Center. This is where professional wrestling is really great, is at the local independent shows. The St. Paul's Championship Wrestling, one of the best.
Over the top now, great move on the part of the Dagger, picks him. Oh, what a maneuver. That suplex, and the back of the head, the neck of Derek St. Holmes snapped on the canvas. Dagger with that short leg drop right across the throat. Once again, he sets him up here, and again, now he's being distracted by the crowd. Follows up, oh, that big elbow right to the sternum, right actually in the solar plexus. This could do it. Referee out of position, count of 1 and 2, not quite 3.
That move is a little reminiscent of the Great Muta. There he goes, rolls him up, 1, 2, he kicks out of it.
This is just a great matchup. Two very evenly matched wrestlers. There's that small package. He's got him once again, count of 2, another near fall. Back and forth, just a great way to kick things off with St. Paul Championship Wrestling in a big clothesline by Derek St. Holmes, Esquire.
Well, St. Holmes is starting to pick up some momentum right now. He's asking for crowd approval, which is a surprise because they never approve of anything he does. But he takes Black Dagger by the head and was going for a gut wrench suplex around.
Oh, great maneuver.
Man.
Both of these wrestlers, I don't know how far into this one we are, probably 7-8 minutes, and it has been a seesaw battle, back and forth. Great conditioning on the part of both of these athletes, as you can plainly see. Watch St. Holmes once again. This is a technician. Let's see what he's trying. He rolls him up now. Dagger's on the canvas. Nope. Count of 1. I believe he had the leg grapevine there, kind of a combination submission and pinning maneuver.
Well, obviously, Black Dagger has an advantage when he stays out of the grass with Derek St. Holmes. St. Holmes rams him in the gut with his shoulder right there. Dagger goes down. Dagger needs to stay out of his reach so he can use that high heel kick, some of those chops and other things. Man, Dagger's in big trouble now, Mick.
Well, he just drilled Dagger. He caught him with the knee right underneath the chin. And the Dagger's in a world of hurt. And Derek St. Holmes, again, taking just that half a second to posture to the crowd. And that, a lot of times, is all that it takes between winning and losing. Nice maneuver. Count of 1, 2.
That's it.
Forget about it. What a maneuver on the part of the mysterious masked man from the Orient, the Black Dagger, coming out of nowhere with that suplex into the pinning combination. Derek St. Holmes very, very frustrated, very angry. Bottom line is, it was a straight pinfall, middle of the ring, nothing to complain about.
He beat him with a technical wrestling move, what Derek St. Holmes is supposed to be the expert at. Black Dagger reversed the move, put him down for the 1, 2, 3. Great matchup.
Absolutely great indeed. And now St. Holmes is arguing with referee Frank Stool to no... Oh, for heaven's sake, what is he doing? He took that book to the back of referee Frank Stool, and Frank has only been in this profession a short time. You can't turn your back on a guy like St. Holmes, whether you're a referee, a wrestler, a fan, or the popcorn vendor.
I don't know what he's complaining about, Mick. I mean, it was clear that he got pinned right in the center of the ring. It's his own fault.
Yeah, wave and catch the plane back to Manchester. We're coming back to the West St. Paul Armory. There's referee Frank Stool being attended to by Chris Dady and the ring announcer Jason. We're coming back, ladies and gentlemen, with more great wrestling action, St. Paul Championship Wrestling.
Wrestling fans, Shaftman here for SPCW 2000 St. Paul Championship Wrestling. Our next event, January 29th at 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. You can acquire your tickets at the Money Exchange, 1318 South Robert Street, or call our hotline at 652-306-2231.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can feel it in the building right now. There's an aura of holiness that has arrived on the scene right now. We are being visited, yes, by a bona fide holy man. A man of the cloth. Hello. A man who has just returned from yet another successful excursion to the mountain of Banff.
Excursion? Diversion, more like it, Mick.
How are the sheep and the goats on the mountain of Banff, Ricky Rice?
You noticed the little fleece on the upper lip?
Don't start with the fleece, for heaven's sakes. Let's talk about your return now to St. Paul Championship Wrestling. You were scouring the locker room area. You were talking to the promoter. You were spewing out a list of names, Ricky.
I just can't figure out where all the boys are. Where are the Whalen brothers? Where's Savannah Jack? What about Eddie Roberts? I mean, where's all the good old boys? I don't see them anymore. Well, where are we again? Oh, West St. Paul. You know, I can't think of a place I'd rather be than West St. Paul.
Ricky Rice.
Good things have happened in West St. Paul, Mick. Give me a minute, I'll think about what those were.
Ricky, for heaven's sake, you're talking about something that happened at Ropers and Fridley back about 11 years ago. If you might want to go into the new millennium, a great...
Ravishing Ronnie. Where's Ravishing Ronnie?
I think he's selling an uppercut someplace out at the Prom Ballroom or something. We haven't seen Ronnie for quite some time. And, you know, Ricky, let's get back down to earth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here to answer some allegations, some accusations, some innuendo that I'm not quite sure about, that were leveled by Ricky the Prophet Rice. Scotty Zappa, what in the world is this guy talking about? What does he have on you?
You know, the last time I looked at my calendar, the last time I wrote out a check, it was 1999. Not 1989, Ricky Rice. Leave your hairspray, your brush at home. Quit talking about the old days in Ropers because those are long gone. Like I said, 1999, 2000 right around the corner. Mick, 2000 is my year. 1989 may have been yours, Ricky Rice, but coming up tonight, St. Paul Championship Wrestling, me and you, all over the internet, the classic matchup. Well, Ricky, let me tell you something. Don't ever underestimate somebody. I don't care if you were the 5-time PWA champ. I don't care if you were in the AWA. You want a war? Well, tonight, you're going to get it.
You know, Scotty Zappa, there is that school of thought. Ricky the Prophet Rice really owned the state of Minnesota professional wrestling scene about a decade ago. Now the talk is that Scotty Zappa is the man as we enter the new millennium. The two of you about to clash in the ring tonight. This is a match made in heaven for the wrestling fans.
Well, you know what? Part of that question you just asked me, Mick Karch, you got exactly right. Owned. Past tense. Passé. Goodbye.
Way to the ring first, weighing in at 242 pounds, he hails from Las Vegas, Nevada, Scotty Z!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. St. Paul Championship Wrestling continues, and this has all the makings of a classic matchup. You're taking a look at one of the best wrestlers for the past 3-4 years in the upper Midwest, a man who I am telling you is going to be a bona fide superstar in this sport, in Scotty Z, Scotty Zappa. Referee Eddie Sharkey, and Scotty's opponent for this evening is a man who literally owned the Twin Cities wrestling scene in the late 1980s into the 90s. The man returning from the mountain of Banff, where he has hobnobbed with the sheep, with the goats. I don't know what kind of a relationship he's had with them. He is the almighty, the all-seeing, the all-omniscient. Sounds like I'm introducing Karnak, but we're going to be taking a look at Ricky the Prophet Rice. That's not Ricky in the hood there. There is Ricky the Prophet Rice, one of the best all-around athletes in this sport. Ricky, a tremendous hockey player, a tremendous wrestler. He has boxed, he has done it all. And as I said, if you were a fan of the Twin Cities wrestling scene at the old Ropers and Fridley in the late 1980s into the 90s, nobody, and I mean nobody, was more popular than Ricky the Prophet Rice. Battled the likes of the late lethal Larry Cameron, Gentleman Jerry Lynn, for heaven's sakes, Sheik Adnan LKC. You name it, Ricky was in the ring with him. It's a tough test tonight, though. Scotty Zappa as good as anybody right now.
Well, 10 years later, Ricky Rice looks just tremendous.
Oh.
He's in tremendous shape. Doesn't look like he's lost a step at all. You know, Mick, I wasn't here during the late 80s, but I got a chance to see Ricky Rice wrestle in the AWA with Derek Dukes as his tag team partner, and that was my first exposure to Ricky Rice. Here he is 10 years later in the ring with, as we said, the next guy to break out of the Minneapolis wrestling scene, Scotty Z. He's already wrestled for the WWF on more than one occasion, and we expect big things out of him. This should be a great matchup.
Absolutely. And, you know, the career, the ups and downs, if you will, of Scotty Z, Scotty Zappa over the last couple of years, he's actually struggled to find an identity. For a while, he was wrestling in a baseball uniform, for heaven's sakes. He wrestled as a lumberjack. He aligned himself with Sheik Adnan LKC.
That was a good move. Yeah.
Became a Sheik with the harem and the oil wells. Now he's down to basics. Now he's Scotty Zappa, and this should be his niche.
Well, he still takes some shortcuts in the ring. He's been known to cheat a little bit and to try to gain the upper hand and get the win any way he possibly can. And, you know, some people have questioned those tactics. Ricky Rice, on the other hand, has been a clean wrestler. He's a fan favorite, and he's going to be, I would assume, would be a clean wrestler tonight as well, using scientific tactics versus growling tactics.
Well, you never know what Ricky Rice you're going to see in the ring. I mean, we've seen Ricky Rice as a rule breaker. We've seen him go the scientific route. Very, very accomplished no matter what he does. Great underhook into the arm drag takedown, and Ricky, very surprised there, but obviously respecting the skills of Scotty Z. I was going to mention several months ago, the World Wrestling Federation, kind of in conjunction with some of the local wrestlers, put on a card at one of the casinos here in the state of Minnesota. Scotty Zappa was on that card, and I want to tell you, he electrified that audience, and he raised some eyebrows with the powers that be and the other wrestlers for the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, I also know that he wrestled against Mark Henry in the World Wrestling Federation, as well as Vic Grimes, who's now in ECW on loan from the WWF as part of the Baldies, that group of people. There he goes with an arm twist. He's pounding away on that shoulder. Ricky Rice spins him over.
You know, you mentioned the conditioning of Ricky Rice, and you're absolutely right. I think Ricky might be in better condition than he actually was 10 years ago, and that's saying something. I mentioned the fact that he's an all-around athlete. He takes his lifestyle very, very seriously, very diligent in that gym, and it shows in the ring. He's got that fluid motion. Off that second turnbuckle, hip lock takedown, over the top goes Scotty Z, Scotty Zappa. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we are at the Armory in West St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul Championship Wrestling. You know, it's interesting, too. You've got two great young lions in this business, and the talk, of course, from Scotty Z was This isn't 1989, Ricky Rice. It's 1999. It's the year of Scotty Zappa. Ricky Rice, on the other hand, of course, just kind of poo-pooed that and paid it no mind. So it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes.
Well, you can't rest on your laurels of years past, Hulk Hogan. But you have to make sure that if you're in the ring with a new opponent, you've got to take the upper hand. There goes Scotty wrenching that arm over the top ring rope. Scotty's going to do everything he can to neutralize the power of Ricky Rice, and he's twisting the arm right now. There's a reversal.
Scotty Zappa is like a piranha. If he senses that you're hurt, if he smells blood, he is going to go in there and he's going to oh my God, nice maneuver again on the part of Ricky Rice, hanging on tenaciously to the side headlock. Scotty Zappa has what it takes. He's got that killer instinct. Believe you me, he's not going to give anybody a break. If he has an opportunity to pin you, he will. If he can hurt you, all the better.
Just dropped Ricky Rice with a suplex, belly to back suplex, and Rice is hurt right now. There's Scotty Z stomping away.
In for cover. Yep. Count of one, referee Eddie Sharkey, the legendary Eddie Sharkey, the trainer of champions. I don't know of anybody that's refereed more championship matchups and big matchups in a career than Eddie Sharkey.
Certainly not, and he's trained some great wrestlers, including the Governor, the Mind, he says, the Body, Jesse Ventura, Rick Steiner, Road Warrior, Animal, and Hawk, and the list goes on and on and on.
Absolutely. Bob Backlund, Demolition Smash, you name them, they've been trained by referee Sharkey, the late, great Rick Rude, Barry Darsow. I mean, it really is an endless list. And in that ring right now, once again, boy, the tenacity of Ricky Rice hanging on to that side headlock. There's a duck of a clothesline attempt. Rice with that short shoulder tackle. Over the top once again, Scotty Z, leapfrog, and now it's back and forth, and Ricky Rice winds up with the better of the exchange, and again with that arm drag, and if you're judging on points, Dale, at this point, it is all Ricky Rice.
Ricky Rice certainly has taken the upper hand and has Scotty Z down on the mat, and twisting that arm around, trying to get Scotty to give it up, certainly working on the body part. We talked about that earlier tonight. That's one way to wear your opponent down and to capitalize on that later in the match.
You know, I hate to keep hearkening back to the 1980s, but a lot of wrestling fans, the modern day era of wrestling fans tend to be kind of transient. You know, if you haven't followed the sport for a long period of time, you might not know the reputation of Ricky Rice. But I want to tell you, Ropers and Fridley seated about 200 people comfortably, and Ricky Rice would sell it out, and they'd have 500 or 600 people in the building. He was a legend. He was a showstopper back then, and that's in the days when the PWA, Eddie Sharkey's promotion, was doing ECW long before ECW was doing it. So Ricky Rice has been around the block, and whether or not he's got what it takes to take the measure of this young star, Scotty Zappa, remains to be seen. Over the top now. Rice hanging on. It's that game of human chess, and out onto the floor goes Rick. No question about it, Ricky Rice gets to a vertical base. Scotty Zappa on the outside of the ring. You know, we're taking a look at Scott. Where in the world is Scotty Zappa here? I'm not quite sure what has happened. Scotty Zappa disappeared from view. Ricky Rice went out one side of the ring, and I'm not sure what happened to Scotty Zappa on the other side here. Our cameras are hopefully going to pick up the action. There you take a look at it. Wait a second now. Zappa is in a bad way. He can't even get to a vertical base. Oh, Zappa's hurt.
He's hurt that leg. Now, we've seen this once before, Mick. You think he's playing possum for Ricky Rice?
Well, I'm not sure if he is or not. They're on the outside of the ring, and if he's playing possum at this point, he's risking a count-out, or at least a double count-out on the outside of the ring. Referee Sharkey continues the count. We did not see exactly what happened to Scotty Zappa, and I know Scotty has had a history of injuries over the past couple of years. Rice is back in the ring. The count continues now on Scotty Zappa, and I'm not buying that Scotty Zappa's playing possum here. This one's over. This one is all
unbelievable,
over.
Mick.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, you had a great matchup going, seesaw battle, back and forth, and Scotty Zappa is clearly in a world of hurt right now. For heaven's sakes, he is in trouble. Again, we do not know exactly what happened to the leg. The other wrestlers coming from the locker room area to take a look at Scotty Zappa. Clearly, we've got a serious problem on our hands right now, ladies and gentlemen, at the West St. Paul Armory. Stay with us. We're going to come back and try to give you an update on the condition of Scotty Zappa. Bottom line, Ricky Rice gets the victory via countout here at the Armory. Wow.
Wrestling fans, Shaftman here for SPCW 2000 St. Paul Championship Wrestling. Our next event, January 29th at 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. You can acquire your tickets at the Money Exchange, 1318 South Robert Street, or call our hotline at 652-306-2231.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, Sexy Ace Steel, once again getting in the ring tonight with CM Punk, a rematch. The promoters insisted on it, the fans demanded it, and I'm not so sure that you were too eager to sign once again.
I insisted on a match. I demanded it. I asked for the contract. They reinstated us in a tournament. It was a fluke. We gave him one hell of a match. But this kid comes out of nowhere and just ends up pulling a draw off with me. That didn't settle well with me. I've got some unfinished business, and I'm going to take care of it tonight. In fact, I'm not even walking out in my gimmicks tonight. You're not going to see feather boas. You're not going to see dumb-looking masks. I'm all business tonight.
All right, let's talk about this once again. There is a school of thought that says the last time out, you took CM Punk very, very lightly, didn't take him seriously, and he took you right to the limit.
That is true. That is correct. You know, I had some stupid-looking woman coming out with me. I'm out playing around the night before, out hitting the bars, painting the town red, and as I said before, I took him lightly. He gave me a little bit more than I could handle. Tonight, I'm going to dish it out. I'm going to dish it out good, hard. He's going to know what I'm talking about when I mean I slap around little jerks that get in my face time and time again. I'm going to win the Cruiserweight title. As I said before, I'm the best Cruiserweight, light heavyweight in the upper Midwest, well, for that matter, in the world.
All right, let's go on to another subject. I heard you talking a little bit earlier on about the relationship between yourself and Danny Dominion. Very, very interesting interview we conducted with Danny Dominion the last time out here with St. Paul Championship Wrestling. A change of heart, perhaps, on Danny's part. What's going on with the two of you?
I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going on. The man has put himself in a different locker room. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the guy's doing. He's left me, you know, we run a gym together. We run the Steel Domain. And it's a professional wrestling training center. It is the hardest pro wrestling training center in the Midwest, in the world for that matter. I'll go again. He's left me with the books, the finances. I don't know what the hell's going on. I got to train guys. I got to enlist guys. I'm just up to my ears in paperwork and this and that. He changed his phone number. My God, I am the godfather to his son. I haven't seen the kid in weeks. I mean, this has really hit me deep down hard. And now I don't know what he's doing. He's, like I said, he's locked himself in this different locker room. We didn't ride up together. I don't know what his travel plans are. Hell, I don't even know if he's here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting scenario developing between Sexy Ace Steel and Dapper Danny Dominion. All that going on as you prepare to get into the ring with CM Punk. Do not look past this individual, Ace. It could be a long, long road tonight.
It's not going to be light work tonight. I've got a lot on my mind. Dominion's on my mind. We've been best friends for years. Best friends for years. Since high school, we're high school buddies. And here he is pulling this stuff because he has a rough match. He's rethinking what he's been doing in this business. I mean, hell, I don't have any regrets about putting Pierce's fat ass through a table.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough of that. He prepares to get into the ring to do battle with CM Punk, one of the greats in this business. Could be a very tough night for Sexy Ace Steel. CM Punk, a little bit later on this evening, you're getting into the ring with arguably one of the greatest cruiserweights, not only in the upper Midwest, but perhaps in the country today, in Sexy Ace Steel. A battle that started last time out here with St. Paul Championship Wrestling. The fans eager to see this one again. Does it end here tonight?
It will end here tonight, Mick. I must have watched the tape of our last match dozens and dozens of times, and I see things I do wrong constantly. I should have capitalized more on his mistakes, him taking me lightly. I don't know too much about Ace Steel. I don't know how he trains, but I know I train harder than he does. I know I work more than he does, and I want this match more than he does tonight, and I'm going to go out there, and it will end tonight. I will win this match.
There's no question about it. You know, on the internet and the wrestling magazines and WrestleLine, everybody is talking about you and Sexy Ace Steel, two of the great young lions in this business. So much at stake tonight, and yet you've got Ace Steel going into the ring not only thinking about you, but the situation with his, I guess, tag team partner, Danny Dominion. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I read the sheets and I see on the internet. I impressed everybody. The promoters are happy. You're happy. You love me, Mick. I let myself down is what basically happened. And as much as he thinks that he should have won that match because I might be a greenhorn, I think I should have won that match because he's lazy. He just doesn't capitalize on all this stuff that he should. And I I feel let down. So what I did is I watched that match. I learned from my mistakes, and I'm gonna beat him tonight. I promise. And as far as I've known Danny longer than I've known Ace Steel, and I don't know either of them too well. Danny is an intense individual, and I hope that maybe he has looked inside and he's finally realized that he's got to be a little bit more responsible. Can't go around acting like a jerk. But definitely, Ace Steel should not worry about Danny Dominion. He should be worrying about me tonight. He's got me, and he took me lightly last time, and look what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a great, great matchup. Two of the best young talents in this sport, Sexy Ace Steel and my guest, CM Punk. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time getting into the ring this evening in a return match with CM Punk. Sexy Ace Steel all wound up this evening. What in the world is going on? This rematch with CM Punk, all the marbles on the line.
I don't give a damn about CM Punk. What I want to know is where the hell is Danny Dominion? Since the last show we had here, I have not seen Danny Dominion. He's left me with the business. I don't know what's going on. I'm the godfather to his son. He's left me with the Steel Domain business to run. I don't know what I know I got a match tonight, the match plan. I'm totally upset. I don't know what the hell's going on. Cards, can you inform me of what the hell's going on?
I wish I could. You know, the last time we talked to Dapper Danny Dominion, it appeared that he had a change of heart, that he was going to turn his career in a different direction, and apparently part of turning that different direction, Sexy Ace Steel, is dropping you off at the bus stop.
The guy is sitting there reflecting on his thoughts. He's thinking that what we've been doing all this time is all for nothing. That he's been running around. We put Adam Pearce's big fat ass through a table, all for nothing. He's thinking he's been doing wrong. We've been doing right all this time. That's why I'm in the Cruiserweight title match. That's why I'm going to win tonight. I'm not worried about the match. They reinstated us in the tournament because we had such a great damn match the last time. I'm going to take that home tonight easy. I'm not worried about that. What I want to know is what's going on with Dominion. He's been faving me all over the place. He's in a different locker room. I don't know where the hell he's at. If I got to get him when he's walking out for his match, I'll do that. I'll interrupt him. I'll figure out what the hell's going on.
You know, there's a school of thought, Ace Steel, that maybe, Dapper Danny Dominion has made a change in life. He's going a different direction. Get on with it. Just move on with your life. Concentrate on CM Punk.
You know what a friend is? You know what a friend is? Best friends. 7-8 years I've known this guy. High school buddies. Best buddies. We got into the business together. We broke in together. And here he is in 2 months. He's got a new train of thought. He's thinking of something different. He wants to change his life and be Mr. Holy Man, turning around. He wants to be good to his kid and good to his wife. Come on.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps this individual ought to concentrate on his matchup with CM Punk. Took you to the limit last time out, Sexy Ace Steel. Maybe put Dapper Danny Dominion on the back shelf for just a minute. You got a very important matchup this evening.
I told you I don't care about the damn match. I got other things on my mind. More important things on my mind. I've got a business to run. I'm up to my ears in paperwork. I got new guys coming in and out. I got to train guys.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously a very distraught Sexy Ace Steel hasn't heard from his friend, Dapper Danny Dominion, in quite some time. Sexy Ace getting into the ring a little bit later on. Cruiserweight matchup. It'll be a great one with CM Punk.
He hails from Malibu, California, Sexy Ace Steel.
Going to call the action with us, and I was just in the locker room just to kind of update everybody. Scotty Zappa, who just had an incredible matchup with Ricky the Prophet Rice, being given medical attention at this point. A very, very serious injury, apparently. Wait a second. Now, hold the line a minute now. Sexy Ace Steel. As I started to say, Scotty Zappa with what could be a very serious injury. Dapper Danny, you saw him in the locker room. This doesn't look good.
No, it didn't look good at all. I'm not going to speculate at this time, but the knee was really swollen, and he said he heard a pop.
Well, the last time that we saw these two in the ring here for St. Paul Championship Wrestling, CM Punk and Ace Steel, they put on just a fantastic match, a clinic, if you will, in professional wrestling. Dale, I expect no less this evening.
Well, the last time they were in town was the first time we'd seen CM Punk. We told he was good, we were told he was quick, and we were amazed by some of the high-flying moves the man had. It was a great fight, a great matchup, and a surprise upset win for CM Punk last time these two got in the ring together.
Well, you know something, as we look at CM Punk, I know that you're very, very high on this individual, Danny. Just a tremendous ring championship, showing us more moves in 5 minutes and a lot of moves in 5 years.
Who the hell do you think trained him?
Well, that was my next point.
Well, Punk came in as a young kid wanting to train out of high school. He didn't have a body. He's working on that still now. He's a lightweight. He's a great young independent worker. He's got a lot going for him. Definitely a lot going for him. And right now he's really giving it to Steel. Actually, they're exchanging holds pretty well. And there we go. Punk's on top again.
Picks up Sexy Ace, and he's going for the ride. Oh, man. Well, apparently, if you're serious about all this, Sexy Ace Steel is either very thick-skulled or he's just not getting the message.
I think he depends on Danny Dominion a little bit too much, and I've always been the brains behind the threesome of me, him, and Lynch. Obviously, we got rid of Lynch because he wasn't holding up his end of the deal a few months back, and I had to change of heart after that match with Adam Pearce, and you know, I just can't surround myself with people that are just, you know, egotistical and thick-skulled like Steel. And if he doesn't want to have faith in his own abilities and not, you know, count on Danny Dominion so much, then, you know, I don't know. I just don't want any part of him anymore.
Well, nobody at all is going to disparage the wrestling ability, the athleticism of Sexy Ace Steel. This is just a rugged competitor, great technical wrestler. Old school, as we like to say. I'm talking about a guy who can get on the mat, get in the air, and he can wrestle. He can get the job done. The question I have in my mind now is he does battle with CM Punk. When we interviewed him a little bit earlier on, Dale, he's not focused at all. He's more concerned about the association with Danny Dominion. As Danny says, perhaps a little too dependent on Danny Dominion. He better keep his eyes set on CM Punk, or it's going to be a loss.
Well, one of Sexy Ace Steel's strongest strengths is the fact that he's been able to outsmart opponents. He takes shortcuts. We know that. Danny used to take shortcuts. It's nice to see him back on the right side of the rule book now. But Sexy Ace Steel's head is not in the right place. And I misspoke before I mentioned these two. I forgot these two went to a full time limit draw last time. I was so amazed to see CM Punk put on a great matchup. We expect to see great things from him tonight as well.
No doubt about it. You're looking at two of the absolute best cruiserweights in this business right now. Look at CM Punk. Extricates himself from the hole. Over the top goes Sexy Ace Steel. You know, there's no doubt I'm looking at Steel, and I'm not sure he's here at all. He is just in another world right now.
He's worried more about me than he is about Punk. And like I said, maybe I taught this kid a little bit too much, you know?
Well, it could come back to haunt you. You know, the student could come back to to get a piece of the teacher's rear end.
Coach, I didn't teach him everything. 8 years to his 1 year, there's no way. Maybe in a couple of years he might catch up if I slack off for a while and start hitting those gears a little bit too hard. But I'm in very, very deep training right now, and like I said, my faith is there, and I'm not going to preach to people, but I have my own beliefs, and the right person is guiding my career right now, and I have very, very high expectations of what I'm going to do.
Oh, we got a slugfest now, exchanging chops. Oh, there's a series of chops now by CM Punk as Ace Steel loses that exchange. Irish whip reversal. Punk over the top, Steel, nobody home. Follows him to the other side now. Look at this maneuver on the part of CM Punk. This kid is so talented. And Sexy Ace tries to clothesline. There's a duck down. Oh, boot right to the midsection.
That was a little low, Coach. I think that was a little low. One of Ace's tricks.
Steel with that clubbing forearm to the back. Very, very evenly matched. I have to say that. Whether you like Ace Steel or whether you don't, you know his capabilities, you know his talent, and CM Punk is going hold for hold with him.
Yeah, well, no one's better technically than Ace. He's the most technically sound wrestler, in my opinion, on the independent scene. Great physique, a lot of power behind that, behind that small body of his. Strength, Steel's got the advantage. Leverage, Punk, high flying ability, they're about equal. This match can go either way tonight.
We harken back to about 10, 15 years ago where the name of the game in professional wrestling, unfortunately, was size and bulk and power. And a lot of these wrestlers that you see today would never have had an opportunity even to wrestle for a major promotion years back. Now the business has turned around, and clearly for the better.
Well, obviously, people like Rey Mysterio Jr., Eddie Guerrero, Juventud Guerrero, these guys have made exciting wrestling back again. The light heavyweight division, the cruiserweight division. These two guys are in the ring right now. They're not very big, as you mentioned, but boy, do they fly.
What a move. Look at the agility. Hold and counter hold now. Look at Punk. Oh, my God. Forget it. Count of 1, 2. It's over. Oh, man. Oh, that was close.
Steel reaching deep down within, brother.
He's going to have to do that. Whips him into the rope. Picks him up. Tilt over. Oh, there's that chop right across the sternum once again. Punk is so talented. Oh, my God. Into that modified backbreaker. Count of 1, 2. Oh, wow. Oh.
You almost rang that bell too soon.
Damn close. What a tremendous matchup. Sexy Ace Steel, ladies and gentlemen, and CM Punk both want that cruiserweight title so badly. Is he setting him up? No, what a reversal on the part of Steel. He's setting him up. He's got him in tombstone position, and he nailed it. He got every bit of it.
He dropped right straight on his skull. That's got to be the end. I hope Punk's all right. That looks pretty mean.
Ace Steel taking an awful lot of time here.
Why isn't he coming, George? See, this is his problem, and this is what my problem was. Oh,
man. Just deliver that one more shot. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to beat CM Punk. He wants to hurt him. Count of 2. Punk kicked out.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This kid's really got a heart. I'm proud of him.
Danny, when you got a man beat, you better go for it. You better not attempt that one extra maneuver. Don't posture to the crowd. Cover him.
Exactly, and that was the problem with the Hollywood.
Weitzman.
I wouldn't mess with Weitzman. He knows a lot of those shoot holes.
Oh, you bet he does. You bet he does, I tell you. Especially if you're going for a piece at a pay-per-view. Oh, my God. There's a shot. Oh, he's pointing at you, Danny. Oh, good Lord. He is taking out his animosity towards you on CM Punk.
A la Chris Benoit, if you notice. One of Sexy Ace Steel's favorite wrestlers, and that's who he tries to emulate a little bit. And,
well, nothing the matter with that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, for the cover, count of 1, 2. He didn't hook the leg. Kind of a sloppy, arrogant cover there.
Well, that's what we're used to, and that's what I'm saying. I had to get away from that stuff in order to succeed in this business. And, it's going to take me time to remember that I have to wrestle clean, and I think Ace really needs to get on that track too sooner or later if he wants to get ahead of this business.
What are you making of all this? I guess as time goes on here, Danny Dominion is making a believer out of me. Oh!
Well, he certainly is. I've got a little bit of deja vu going on here because last time these two met, Sexy Ace Steel had a number of times he thought he put CM Punk away, and CM Punk kept coming back and kept kicking out. And right now, he's going for the suplex to take him high in the air.
Picks him up. Wait, he can't get him up. He cannot. Oh, there he does. Vertical suplex, and that was raw power. You know, you talked about the compact body of Ace Steel, but man, I tell you what, you power that man into that vertical position takes tremendous strength.
Yes, it does. You know, I used to train with Steel in the gym a lot, and we've had a lot of good techniques. And you know, the guy can bench press 350 pounds, and he weighs just a pound over 200. You know, I mean, that's excellent conditioning, and his cardiovascular shape is excellent too, obviously.
Well, I tell you what, if in fact the combination of Dominion and Steel has seen their last days, that certainly is going to be the shot heard around the world on the independent scene. Oh my God, he drilled him! He absolutely dropped him. That'll rattle those cervical vertebrae. Johnny Stewart, no, I don't. Speaking of flakes, for heaven's sake, Johnny Johnny, for heaven's sake, let's get back to the action. Oh my God, Steel caught him. What a jerk. Well, Johnny Stewart, nobody ever accused that guy of being the sharpest bulb on the tree. He's pointing at you again. He's not focused at all, and Punk is trying to power out here. Oh my God, powerbomb from the top. Count of 1, 2. God, man.
Parts, I thought that was it. This is an excellent match. You're not going to see this on WWF where they're 3-minute matches. This is wrestling at its best. People better come out and see this while they can.
There's no doubt about it. Wait a second now. CM Punk climbing to the top. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh.
They're looking for women tonight. Having the ace, it wouldn't have mattered because this thing is so small.
Hey, Danny.
There's a joke in the locker room, you know.
Wow. There's some real intensity, some real heat here. Dominion and Steel. Now once again, Sexy Ace going to that second rope, rattles him with a forearm shot to the side of the jaw. Kreisman putting the count on. This is high risk with a capital H. Oh my God! Suplexed him from the top.
Steel also got hurt in that move. He's holding the back of his head, but CM Punk is down. And I don't know if he hurt his back or what. He's not going to be getting up anytime soon. There's no Sexy Ace Steel again, posturing for the crowd, screwing around.
What the hell do you expect, Spears? I mean, he fell from about, that was about 12 feet in the air almost, 8 feet in the air. I mean, both men are going to take a big bump and a bad beating on that, but obviously Punk took the worst of it.
Oh, seesaw battle. I'm telling you what, every time you hear one of those jobs, you mentioned Chris Benoit, Ric Flair, my God, these two can hold their own with any of them. Irish whip all the way across the ring. Wait a minute, where's Steel going? Over the top, from the top, drop kick right between the shoulder blades. Wait a second now, outside the ring right now, we're looking at classic Colt Cabana. What the hell's he doing out here?
Good question. I don't see anything good coming out of this stuff.
Well, I don't either, and I'm not sure that referee Kreitzman shouldn't be shaking. Oh, God! Shouldn't be shaking his rear end back to the locker room. Whipped across the ring. And again, Sexy Ace taking his time. Monkey flip. Punk lands on his feet. Stuck on the clothesline. Belly to back. Come on, Punk, stay on him. Stay on him. Don't give him a minute here. Knife edge again. I'm still keeping my eye on Colt Cabana on the outside of the ring. Clothesline. Well, right now it's all CM Punk.
Yes, it is. And Punk, he got a little bit of a comeback here, and I don't know what he's going to do to Ace here, but oh my God!
He drilled him once again. Punk is exhausted. Both of these wrestlers, I'm assuming, were probably 15 minutes into this one, have given everything that they possibly. Wait a second. That's it. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, referee. Well, now you know what Cabana's doing out.
Yeah, well, the second time tonight, Kreitzman, got his head up his ass again.
The referee Kreitzman easily. Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, we got deja vu. Here we go. What the hell is going on here now? Oh, and he nailed CM Punk. He dropped him like a bad habit. Count of 1, 2, it's over. Wait a minute. Just a second. Ace Steel gets the win, but Dapper Danny Dominion has gone to ringside here. to talk to Bruce Weitzman. Well, Danny Dominion got screwed out of his match. He wants to make sure CM Punk doesn't get screwed this time. Weitzman's looking at it. He sees the trade. We still got a match, Mick. Weitzman. Wait a minute. Let's hear what Weitzman is telling Jason, the ring announcer. Danny Dominion was not going to stand for it. Wait a minute. The match is going to continue. Dapper Danny Dominion, you weren't going to let it happen a second time.
No, I wasn't. Maybe I should be. I should have a new ring name. The Guardian name. Huh? How about that?
I think it's good. Sexy Ace Steel tried to get away with one there. Colt Cabana tossed him the chain. Danny Dominion astutely here at ringside pointed out to referee Weitzman. And now the question is, does CM Punk have enough to turn this one around?
I don't know, but this chain must weigh about 5 pounds, brother. Here it goes. Brain buster.
He attempted it. Wait a second. Steel was going for the death drop. There's a reversal by Punk. Look at this game of human chess. Both of these wrestlers jockeying for position. He's got him set up in DDT position now. Oh, he dropped him. Every bit of it. My God! CM Punk gets the victory over Sexy Ace Steel. Thanks to the, I'm not going to say interference, thanks to the guardian angel stewardship of Dapper Danny Dominion.
There is justice in professional wrestling. Danny Dominion, payback time tonight, brother. And that's what we just saw. Danny Dominion over Ace Steel. CM Punk, tonight's winner.
Scrap Iron Adam Pearce holding up the arm of CM Punk. Just a tremendous matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. It is so hot you can light a match on the ring apron here with St. Paul Championship Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, St. Paul Championship Wrestling, wild and controversial once again. CM Punk has joined me at this time. A phenomenal conclusion to your matchup. All hell broke loose once again.
I must have woke up in that match getting sent into the ropes by Ace Steel. I really didn't know what happened. All I know was 1 minute I'm up, next minute I'm down. I'm knocked unconscious, getting sent into the ropes. A couple of things happened. I hit a desperation move. I advanced in the tournament. What I didn't know, which the boys in the locker room showed me later on, is that Danny Dominion came out, informed the referee of the illegal object that Ace Steel used to hit me. I know he doesn't have a right hand that hard. And it makes me wonder. I guess Danny Dominion really is trying to turn over a new leaf. I had my doubts. Pierce had his doubts. Everybody in the locker room had their doubts. Looks like Danny's really turning over a new leaf.
Well, that may or may not be the case again. There's some skepticism as yet, but it appears that Danny Dominion is, in fact, a man of his word at this point. Sexy Ace Steel, on the other hand, has completely lost it. He's gone.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated. He didn't think I'd beat him. He didn't think I'd go time limit draw with him last time, but I knew I would. You knew I would. You knew a lot more than you lead on, Mick.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, obviously, victorious this evening here at St. Paul Championship Wrestling. The sky is the limit for the incredibly talented CM Punk. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with a very irate, very frustrated, and obviously very wound up Sexy Ace Steel.
What you need to do is just leave. Just leave, Karsh. What happened tonight was I got screwed. You've heard famous screw jobs all over this business. Big time screw jobs. Well, if you want to call this little time, get to the big time. I don't give a damn what you want to call it. I got screwed. My partner, my former partner, comes out. I had this match won, wrapped up. Doesn't matter how I had it won. Doesn't matter by what means that I had this match won. The pin was counted 1, 2, 3. And I'll be damned if my hand wasn't raised. But then Dominion's got to stick his nose in my business. Come up there and tell the ref to raise my arm. Okay, I got caught sleeping. The gimmick falls out. The match gets restarted. And by a lucky move, CM Punk advances in the tournament. The bottom line is this. It's not going to be done here. It's not ended here. Dominion, you have thoroughly just pissed me off. And I don't give a damn about the gym anymore. We can close the place up. All the trainees can go home and watch wrestling on TV from now on and wrestle in their backyards. I don't give a damn. You and I, my friend, mano a mano, we're going to go at it sooner or later. You cut out of this building real quick. I didn't get a chance to say my piece with you. It's going to happen, pal. And you know what? Damn it.